Hello, grade 6. How's it going? Good? We finished together speaking about systems. The last one that we were speaking about was very good, excretory system. We know more about excretory system. We know about the excretion processes, right? Then we know about excretion or egestion, right, grade 6? Today we are gonna start speaking about diseases. And the first one that we want to start with is communicable disease. Let's know more about this word. Communicable disease. I'm sure that there's a question in your mind that what is communicable disease? You know the meaning of diseases, right? Okay, grade 6. Everyone is ill sometimes. Different diseases have different causes, right? Different diseases have different causes. Malaria, not like the flu, right? And the flu, not like the AIDS, right? Grade 6. Communicable diseases are diseases that pass from one person to another or from animal to person. How, what comes to your mind? Yeah, like corona, right? Corona is a communicable disease. Why? Because it passes from one person to another. And it is said that at the beginning it comes from the animal to person, right? Communicable diseases, grade 6, are caused by germs. And germs are tiny organisms that can only be seen using a microscope. Germs are tiny organisms. You can't see with your eye. Unless you use a microscope, you will not see it. Are tiny organisms that can only be seen using a microscope. Bacteria and viruses are different kinds of germs. They are examples of germs, bacteria and viruses. So the question is, how are germs spread? Some germs pass from person to person through the air. Through what? The air. Others are passed through the water or by animals. This table here in front of you shows how some diseases are spread. Just some diseases. I have airborne diseases, waterborne diseases, and spread by animals. The airborne diseases like what? Like tuberculosis, pneumonia, measles, whooping cough, chicken pox. These are examples for airborne diseases. Examples for waterborne diseases: typhoid, cholera, poliomyelitis, hepatitis A, and dysentery. Okay? And spread by animals like malaria, dengue fever, yellow fever, typhus, and rabies. These are examples of some diseases. Here I have epidemics. What does epidemic mean? Every city or community, grade 6, has a few people infected with diseases, right? But most diseases do not spread widely. Most of the diseases do not spread widely. Some of the things that prevent disease from spreading are it doesn't allow these diseases to spread are what? The first one, good hygiene. The water is clean. Rubbish is disposed of properly and places where mosquitoes and rats might breed are destroyed. The places where mosquitoes and rats might breed and reproduce and become a community are destroyed. Okay? You have down here a picture for water is clean. Here the rubbish is disposed of properly dispose properly, the plastic with the plastic, the paper in the paper basket, the metal in the metal basket, the glass in the glass basket, the organic matter in their basket. Okay. And the second thing that prevent disease from spreading is vaccination. Most children in grade 6 are vaccinated against serious diseases. You can look down. These are examples of vaccinations. Those babies, those kids. Okay, the third one, natural immunity. Natural immunity. If a disease has been around for many years, people will be less likely to catch it. They are immune or resistant to the disease. If this disease continues for a lot of years, then people will have their own resistance. Okay, they will not get this disease, they will not be affected. Okay, inside our system we have immunity system. This will not allow this disease to happen. Okay, epidemic and pandemic. Sometimes there is an outbreak of many more cases of a disease than normal. Like we find a lot of people affected by just one disease. This is called an epidemic. It is called what? An epidemic. We find a lot of people have the same disease than the normal, but they are in their place. When the disease is spread widely throughout the world, it is called a pandemic. You can see down in the picture, epidemic, they are in the same place. Pandemic, now it is spread widely. Like what, your grade 6? Yeah, very good. Like coronavirus nowadays. It is pandemic. Some reasons that epidemics and pandemics occur are: the first one, a germ changes to a new form and people have no natural immunity. The germ changes to a new form. It is not the old form, a new form. And people have no natural immunity. And the germ continues in changing. The second reason, parents do not have their children vaccinated. When we were children, our parents are the ones who are responsible about us. They're supposed to have their children to be vaccinated, right? They're supposed to take the children to be vaccinated, but some parents, they do not have their children vaccinated. And this is one of the reasons that epidemics and pandemics occur. The third one, water or food become contaminated. Like, do you see down this rat? Yeah, this rat contaminates the food and maybe with other insects. The last one, people allow rubbish to pile up near their homes. And in the rubbish we find a lot of insects, right? People allow rubbish to pile up near their homes. Most years, a new form of the influenza, the flu virus, develops somewhere in the world. It develops somewhere in the world, right? International travelers carry the virus across continents. Like, there was someone who is affected with this influenza. Then he traveled from Asia to Africa, from Africa to Europe, from Europe to America. Then he helped this influenza to spread, okay? To spread throughout the world. At that time, scientists tried to develop vaccines to protect, but not everyone can be vaccinated. Not all the people can be vaccinated. Sometimes the scientists develop a vaccine that doesn't work well. Sometimes, as I told you, the scientists develop a vaccine, but this vaccine doesn't work well. The result may be a flu epidemic or even a pandemic. Like nowadays, the coronavirus. I hope every one of us will be good, okay? And that's it about the communicable disease, grade 6. We know the definition of communicable disease. We know more about epidemic and pandemic. We know the reasons that causes epidemic and pandemic. And we had informations about a flu that happened in the past. Just grade 6, you have homework in your workbook, pages 17, 18. In page 18, there is a small project that I love. You have to search in the internet and such thing, and nowadays you have a time to do this. Then pupils book, page 38. You have to be sure that you are doing it in your books, because you will be asked to bring your books in the coming weeks. So do your best, grade 6. Wish you all the best.